So good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to the October 5th, 2021 meeting of the Calvert County Board of Commissioners. So at this time, I'd like to ask Reverend Garcia from Christ Church in Port Republic to give us the invocation. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's pray. Oh God, your unfailing providence sustains the world we live in and the life we live. As our commissioners gather today to take counsel for the governance of Calvert County, we ask you to give them the wisdom to know what is right, the courage to pursue it, and the grace to accomplishment. Grant that we may never forget that our common life depends upon each other's toil. All these things we ask for the sake of him who came among us as one who serves, your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Commissioner Weems?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to approve and adopt the amended agenda as republished and removing new business item number 1.
Second?
So I have a motion and a second to adopt the amended agenda. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Public service announcements. I believe we have the United Way with us today. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all today?
Very
Great.
good.
Great. I'm Shelby Potts. I'm a board member for the former United Way of Calvert County and for the current United Way of Southern Maryland. Thank you all so much for having us here today. We're here today to talk about the recent integration of the United Way of Charles County, St. Mary's County, and Calvert County. We know that coming together of these three organizations will make us stronger as a region and as a community. This integration was a long, thought-out process and was sparked by the desire to streamline backroom operations, share successful programming in our communities, and take advantage of the multifaceted resources available in each one of our counties. I'd like to introduce you to our new staff of the United Way of Southern Maryland. Christine Michelson is our Director of Programs. Susan Lloyd is our Director of Operations. And Melvin Brennan is our new CEO, who will be guiding our new operations to great heights. And we're so excited. Mel, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Shelby. No pressure, right? Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's a blessing to be here with you this morning. I want to, first of all, thank Shelby and the CEO Search Committee. Taking on the opportunity and the responsibility of this new United Way is a task that I don't take lightly. It's a pleasure to be here in beautiful Calvert County and to begin the process of understanding, from my perspective and yours, specifically what Calvert County needs with regard to the United Way going forward. We're very excited to partner with governmental agencies as United Way partners, and we look forward to not only maintaining the long-standing relationship that we've had, but looking for new and innovative and exciting ways to go forward as a 21st century United Way. So we're very thankful this morning to be here with you and look forward to that work. Have a wonderful morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So we just want to take this opportunity to thank you for what you do for the citizens of Calvert County and the great work that you've done and continue to do. So we greatly appreciate that. So
Thanks very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
yeah. So public service announcements, the only one I have this morning is personal. It is harvest season, And those of us that farm, we have to move our equipment up and down these roads. And I just ask that those of you that are driving vehicles be a little patient. Our equipment is large, moves slow. We have as much right to the road as you do. We don't like moving any more than you like running up behind us, but just be safe. We don't mind if you pass us as long as you do that in a safe way. I don't believe Colonel McDowell's staff will give you a ticket if you pass us on a double yellow line, as long as you do it safely, because we're going very slow. But just be a little patient. The equipment is large, and it's not easy to move over sometimes, and we apologize for your inconvenience, but just be safe is all I ask. So that'll be going on for the next couple months. So we just want everybody to be safe out there on our roads. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is proclamations. First is for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Commissioner Hart?
And do we have somebody here from there?
Yep. Purple.
I'm Joan Winship, and I'm Chair of the Commission for Women.
Arian Odom, Vice Chair.
There we go. Come on down. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Know what the protocol is, whatever makes you ladies good. I'm good. There we go. Come on down. Well, before I read this, I really wish I wasn't reading this. It still upsets me to the core that every year, and thank goodness that you do what you do, that this is still a problem. And so much of this is people hurting the people that love them the most, and it's just, I don't know what it takes to end it, to be quite honest. I wish I knew what it would take to do that. I don't understand it. I really don't. But I thank you for you doing what you do, because so many times they're in helpless situations and they don't know where else to turn, and and we're not the close community that we were years and years ago, where everybody knew everybody. You could kind of maybe, there's some people that live here that don't know anybody. So you're the only avenue they have to work through. So I want to read this for you. And this is, whereas the Commission for Women works to end domestic violence in Calvert County through education, awareness, community support, and collaboration among individuals, community groups, law enforcement, and other governmental agencies, while working to help survivors of domestic violence realize that they are not alone, need not to suffer in silence, but can speak out and can join together to support each other, heal wounds, and rebuild their families. Whereas the Commission for Women is sponsoring a Domestic Violence Awareness Month event in partnership with the Center for Change, the State's Attorney's Office, the Calvert County Court, on October 7th, 2021. And whereas domestic violence can affect anyone from all racial, ethnic, national origin, sexual orientation, economic, age, religious, and social groups. It damages the health, economics, and well-being of our county and hurts those we love the most. And whereas assistance remains available, the COVID-19 pandemic has led to an increased social distancing, which often prohibits others from recognizing when people are being exposed to family violence and limits their ability to intervene and provide aid. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County that October 2021 be known as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Calvert County. Be it further proclaimed that we urge all citizens to actively support efforts to end domestic violence and prevent harm to all who live within our communities, given under our hands and seal this 5th day of October 2021. Kevin, are we okay?
Let's scooch in tighter. What's your favorite word? Scooch. Scooch. Scooch in a little bit. Here we go. And
Mr. State's Attorney, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. President. If I might make just a few comments about
Absolutely.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It is very appropriate that we recognize that month. Domestic violence is a real problem in the United States. It affects approximately 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men. And it's a problem in Calvert County as well. Every morning I get a report. In the military you would call it a morning report of activity overnight by the Maryland State Police, Calvert County Sheriff's Office. Every morning I get up and I look at these reports and I see 2 or 3 cases of domestic violence each night. Now, not all of them result in arrests, but is indicative of the level of domestic violence in this county. In the past year, approximately past year, the State's Attorney's Office prosecuted 362 cases of domestic violence. And I hear anecdotally from my prosecutors that the cases are becoming more and more violent. I think we could expect that. People have been cooped up. The level of mental health activities has increased. So it's appropriate that we recognize the month, and as Commissioner Hart mentioned in the proclamation, there will be an event October 7th, this Thursday at 6 p.m. in front of the courthouse. We hope everyone can attend. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'd like to add some comments to that, Assistant Sheriff Dave McDowell. I'm here today to just reaffirm the Sheriff's Office commitment to ending domestic violence in Calvert County and everywhere. And it's coming from a perspective of 30 years of service. I can remember back in the early 90s, we would go to domestic violence calls, and there were no protocols at all. And oftentimes, there weren't even reports taken, and it was the way business is done. So today, with lethality assessments and domestic violence advocates supporting agencies, we've come so far, but we've still got a long way to go. Ladies, I would like to thank you all for what you do in this field. And again, Commissioners, thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I just say on behalf of the Commission for Women, we appreciate the support of the Board of County Commissioners in declaring this October Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Calvert County. We have a lot of resources available, but the problem is endemic. And so we want to take advantage and thank all of the different community resources that do exist. The Commission, since its very inception and charter by the Board of County Commissioners, this has been an issue, and it's an ongoing issue. So we thank you for your support, for your awareness, and we want the community to know that we have resources, and if people need to reach out, it reaches all people, male and female. It reaches all ages, all economic, educational, racial, sexual, all people, people that we would not expect facing this problem. And so we appreciate your support and want the community to know that there is help there if they want to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Proclamation Cybersecurity Month. Commissioner Weems.
Ladies, if you would please introduce yourself and then come forward.
I am Amy Lawson, the Director of Technology Services for Calvert County.
And I'm Kat Poff, the Cybersecurity Manager for Calvert County.
Whereas the Board of County Commissioners recognizes it has a vital role in identifying, protecting its citizens from, and responding to cybersecurity threats, which may have a significant impact on our individual and collective safety and privacy. And whereas cybersecurity education and awareness are crucial for everyone, including large corporations, small businesses, financial institutions, schools, government agencies, the home user, and anyone who connects to the internet, be it with a computer, mobile phone, or other internet-connected device. Monitoring your accounts, being conscientious of what you share online, keeping computer software up to date, creating unique passwords, changing passwords regularly, and installing antivirus programs and firewalls are all ways people and organizations can protect themselves from phishing, viruses, ransomware, malware, financial loss, and loss of sensitive data. And whereas we showcase the need to inspire, engage, and inform the public about the demand, opportunities, and career options available within the area of cybersecurity. Building the cybersecurity workforce enhances the nation's security and promotes economic prosperity. And whereas the Stop, Think, Connect campaign serves as the National Cybersecurity Public Awareness Campaign. This campaign was implemented through a coalition of private companies, nonprofit government organizations, and academic institutions working together to increase the public's understanding of cyber threats and empowering Americans to be safer and more secure online. Maintaining the security of cyberspace is a shared responsibility in which each of us has a critical role to play. Awareness of essential cyber hygiene will improve the safety of Calvert County government's information, infrastructure, and economy. And whereas the federal government of the United States of America, the United States Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, the National Association of State Chief Information Officers, and the National Cybersecurity Alliance all recognize October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. All citizens are encouraged to visit their websites, as well as the Stop, Think, Connect campaign website, and the Calvert County Government Cyber Scams webpage to learn about cybersecurity and to put that knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplaces, and businesses. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County that October be recognized and known as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month 2021 in Calvert County. All citizens and employees are urged to join in increasing awareness and understanding during the month of October and throughout the year. Given under our hands and sealed this 5th day of October 2021.
So last but not least, the one proclamation we're all waiting for, Commissioner Gadway, Pat the Rock Day.
Is Parks and Rec here?
Good morning.
And is that Patrick?
That is. So good morning, Paul Lundberg, Parks and Recreation, and I will introduce Pat.
Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to be here. Just wanted to thank Calvert County Parks and Rec, not for just giving us this opportunity to help give back to the kids, this next generation of athletes, but also all the things that they've done over the years to give athletes like myself an opportunity to live out my dreams.
Go ahead and come on up.
All right.
Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
As I was reading the proclamation this weekend, I had to take it inside and show my wife. I said, hey, check this out. As I was a little kid, I used to watch the Harlem Globetrotters, and as I read this, I was like, wow, born in Prince Frederick and this and that. And I was going in over the weekend and bragging about this. So it was great that I have the opportunity to read this and present this to you guys today. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County desires to recognize the outstanding efforts of individuals who are dedicated to improving the quality of life for citizens of Calvert County. And whereas Pat the Rock Robinson grew up in Calvert County and played basketball for both Calvert High School and Patuxent High School before beginning his professional career with the Harlem Globetrotters. Pat has continuously given back to the community, and in 2005, he started a basketball program that is now considered the foundation for the Pat the Rock Basketball Academy, located at the Mount Hope Community Center. And whereas, when Pat was given the opportunity to have a basketball court redesigned by his sponsor, Project Backboard, he chose the outdoor court at Mount Hope Community Center. And whereas, the Department of Parks and Recreation will be hosting a Pat the Rock Basketball Academy back-to-school clinic on October 9th, 2021 at the Mount Hope Community Center. And whereas, the Board of County Commissioners are delighted to honor Pat's dedication to the community and wishes to pay tribute to his distinguished and commendable service. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County that on October 9th, 2021, be known as Pat the Rock Day in Calvert County. Be it further proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Calvert County that sincere appreciation and gratitude of all Calvert Countians is hereby extended to Pat the Rock Robinson for his service to the community, many contributions to the citizens of Calvert County, and showing kids that truly anything is possible. Given under our hands and sealed this 5th day of October 2021, signed by all commissioners. Thank you.
Pat, I have a question for you, sir. Is that clinic full or?
Can Steve still get in it? Curly and Keith and Meadowlark and all those guys. I mean, I still remember it fondly. You can tell. That's it, but he's too slow.
Okay, let's scooch in. Here we go. 1, 2, another one. 1, 2. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd like to see that. That'd be good.
It still means I can't leave it.
Council, are we too early for a public hearing?
Real quick.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Only because Commissioner Weems asked. I figured that's why we went third, because people know I like to talk. Pat has been a wonderful friend and inspiration to me over the last 15 years, and he has more things that you'll find out about Pat that he will never tell you about. Not only about the Harlem Globetrotters and being the youngest player ever to be selected to tour with the Globetrotters at 19, Under Armour's first product endorser, person of video games. He's been in movies, commercials. I have this Gatorade bottle, which was a nice sentiment that I've had for many, many years that Pat gave me of his endorsement of Gatorade. He's done not only all the things that basketball players do, but just so much more. He's a business person, and as great a player as he is, he's even a better, husband and father and friend and person. And he always thinks of Calvert County as home. So he's been around the world many times. He's very privileged to call Calvert home. It's great to work with him. We're excited about the clinics that we have on Saturday, which are almost full. We're excited about the court dedication, inspiring a whole nother generation, and to prove to everybody that indeed anything is possible. So thank you very much.
So it's
We're
not too
honored
late.
to have him.
It's not too late for Commissioner Weems to get in.
There's 79 of 90, correct, as of today, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes.
So sign up.
I'd rather challenge each of you to.
I'm booked up.
Okay.
And can Zach go in my place?
Sure.
I may pass out after the first couple throws.
So it's too early. So the next item is award. Emily Matthews.
Good morning, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emily Matthews, and I'm a project engineer for the Water and Sewer Division. I'm here today, though, as the treasurer of the Employee Recognition Committee, and it's my privilege to introduce Calvert County Government's September 2021 Employee of the Month. Before I introduce our award winner, here's a quick reminder of what we look for in an Employee of the Month. This award acknowledges individual excellence for superior job performance or special individual efforts which exceed an employee's normal job duties. Some of the suggested criteria are effectiveness of public contact, respect of fellow employees, quality and quantity of work, contributions toward improving organizational morale, and actions that improve our public image. Anyone can nominate a coworker for this award. Simply have it signed by the employee supervisor and their department head, and you can check out the ERC webpage for more information. We encourage all employees to be on the lookout for a worthy recipient. So without further ado, our September 2021 Employee of the Month is James Jimmy Yoakam, Water and Sewer Plant Supervisor. Congratulations, Jimmy. Come on down. You want to stand up front? Okay, I'm going to keep talking.
Go on up.
Yeah. That way they all know who I'm talking about. And they stop looking at me. Jimmy has been involved in several projects that improved the efficiency and effectiveness of the Solomons wastewater treatment plant. Recently, he has begun completing maintenance work on major pieces of equipment that has been deferred for several years. The Water and Sewer Division was featured on the front page of the paper for one of the projects he oversaw and completed for the replacement of aeration diffusers in Reactor 2. His most recent accomplishment was the overhaul of Clarifier 1. This required the clarifier to be taken out of service, material selection and ordering, work scheduling, and work planning. During the outage, the clarifier was inspected, repairs were made to the effluent launders, the support structure and rotating equipment was power washed and painted. Jimmy and his team were able to complete the project in a short 2-week outage while completing emergency repairs to the rotating equipment that were discovered during the inspection. His efforts and diligence resulted in a project that was completed ahead of schedule, did not require any outside contractors, and extended the life of an asset, reducing the fiscal impact of our customers. He's a valued asset to the Water and Sewer Division. He began his career as an operator trainee and has progressed to the plant supervisor. During this time, he has demonstrated many traits that have made him an effective member of the team, working with staff and citizens, as well as forming effective relationships outside of the work. Jimmy has also been willing to work extra hours to ensure that the projects are successful. He looks for opportunities to share his knowledge with colleagues and subordinates, and the effort that Jimmy places in his work has allowed the organization to realize several cost-saving opportunities through process improvements and operational efficiencies at the facility. He oversees a staff of 5 with the responsibility of providing drinking water for Solomons, White Sands, Kenwood Beach, and St. Leonard water systems, as well as the collection and treatment of sewage from the Lesbian Solomons area and septic receiving. He can effectively schedule his staff to accomplish routine work, planned maintenance, as well as emergency repairs, while still maintaining operational excellence. One of the key contributors to this is his work ethic. He is also early to work and the last one to leave, and he strives to instill this in his staff and has been an effective leader since his promotion. The ERC is very happy to be part of this recognition, and we thank you, commissioners, for the support of the Employee Recognition Committee. We would like to thank Jimmy for his hard work and congratulate him on being Calvert County's September 2021 Employee of the Month. I think Carrie and some other guys are going to say a few things.
Jimmy, since you don't like speeches, we're going to, well, Carrie or Director Dole, would you like to make a 5-minute speech about Jimmy's efforts?
I will just say that the guys that represent us at the water and sewer treatment plants are probably some of the best and most knowledgeable guys that we have on the county staff. You wouldn't think of initially, but they're the ones that have most impressed me since I've actually showed up and started working for the county. And the first person I got to see was Jimmy. And I was, being an Army colonel, you get to ask a few questions a few times of people who do their jobs. And you can figure out in a few minutes whether somebody knows what they're talking about and whether or not they really know their stuff. And I will tell you, I gave him a gauntlet of questions that first day because I was curious about what he did. And he did a great job. And he set the standard for everyone that I went and asked. And I tell you what, he's representative of the other treatment plant guys that we have. He's just done an exceptional job here lately, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you.
That being said, I also couldn't have done it without the staff. I couldn't have done it without the staff that I have down at the Solomon's wastewater treatment plant. I'm only as good as the guys I work with, so, yep.
Jimmy, if you'll accept this, sir, as Employee of the Month, sir, congratulations. And here's a check.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You can retire on that. That goes for operation of the plant. I hit a new leaf blower, so you know. Everybody scooch in. Probably gonna have to have money to it. All right, here we go. And 1, 2, one more shot. 1, 2. Awesome. Can we at least approve the leaf blower for the plant? We're gonna get you. We got rates. Oh, thank you. It's the running joke that we have. We got rates down there. Yeah, right.
So I've been informed that we have a guest in the audience, Angel Jingaris. Come on up and introduce yourself. Tell us why you're here today.
Hi, my name is Angel Gingras, and I am a sophomore at the University of Maryland. And I've lived in Calvert County my whole life. We actually just moved out of Calvert County a couple weeks ago, unfortunately. And I'm a journalism student, and I am covering Calvert County as my beat this semester. I love Calvert County. It's very dear to my heart, and it's everything I've ever known. So I've been in contact with many of you, and I've really appreciated all the help you're giving me. So I'm excited to attend this meeting and kind of get a little insight about government, and I really appreciate everyone's time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
I think I saw Marty Madden back there starting to squirm in his chair. No?
No?
Start to think about retirement.
Right, he's just happy there's somebody to replace him, right? 10:30. So appointments. We don't have the deputy. Consent, huh? I can do consent. That won't take but a minute. So the 6th item on the agenda is consent. I'm not going to read each of those. There are 4 items under consent, and they are all lease agreements for different towers that we own with New Singular Wireless. So if there are no objections to the items under consent, then they will be adopted as presented. Thank you.
We can do a new business.
Okay, new business. Let me see. Item number 2, Department of Planning and Zoning, Community Rating System, Ron Marney. Man, we are striking out today.
Go to 3 because they're here.
Number 3,
Yep.
Office of the County Administrator,
She already left.
Administrator Willis.
She just left, I think. Oh, there's Inez.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Willis, County Administrator. Subject, Calvert County Blueprint Implementation Committee and Implementation Coordinator. Background, the Calvert Commission on Innovation and Excellence in Education was a multi-year initiative to research and develop major funding and policy reforms intended to improve the quality of Maryland's public education system. Legislation was passed in Annapolis that requires local action, specifically the Board of County Commissioners and Calvert County Board of Education are to appoint a local implementation coordinator, the blueprint for Maryland's future for each fiscal year, 2022 through 2026. Additionally, the Board of County Commissioners and the Board of Education agreed to appoint a Calvert County Blueprint Implementation Committee. It was decided that the committee would have a membership that represents the citizens, teachers, and educational support staff. Discussion. The enclosed joint resolution reflects the composition and responsibilities of the Calvert County Blueprint Implementation Committee discussed and agreed upon with the Board of Education. Interested stakeholders will have a meaningful role in defining key milestones to be achieved for each of the implementation period, for each year of the implementation period. Fiscal impact, none. Conclusion recommendation. The Board of County Commissioners is asked to consider and, if appropriate, approve and sign the enclosed joint resolution naming Kevin Michael as the local implementation coordinator and establishing the Calvert County Blueprint Implementation Committee. I'll point out that Mr. Michael is actually a member of the Board of Education as well. So that's before you, Commissioners. Your pleasure, gentlemen.
So, I don't have the resolution. We don't need to read the resolution, do we, unless there's a request?
No, sir, you're not required to read the resolution.
And I see we have with us BOE Chair Inez Claggett. Would you like to say anything?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, President Hance, Vice President Weems, and members of the Board of County Commissioners. Thank you for joining our meeting and coming over and having a joint meeting with us to discuss the blueprint implementation, establishing the Blueprint Implementation Committee. We appreciate you joining our meeting and discussing that with us. And we appreciate your coming to an agreement to establish this committee to move the blueprint implementation work forward. Thank you.
So I appreciate the Board of Education's efforts on this. You know, I think this is, at least for me, you know, this is the most important development for education since the Hughes Commission way back. So it's very important, and we all felt strongly that it needed involvement from all the parties to make sure that this blueprint, as we move forward with, has full support of the entire community. So very happy that you all decided to sign the resolution. We've already basically adopted the resolution, so this is just a formality for us now that the Board of Education has agreed to the resolution. So if is there any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion.
You're certainly welcome to make a motion.
All right, and then we could discuss.
We can.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and sign the enclosed joint resolution naming Kevin Michael as the local implementation coordinator and establishing the Calvert County Blueprint Implementation Committee.
Second?
So we have a motion and a second to adopt the joint resolution. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll
Commissioners,
get-
we'll go ahead and get that before you for the signatures, and then we'll get with Chairman Inez Claggett to make sure that it's all signed off.
Right, so the resolution requires citizen representation from that the Board of Education and the Board of County Commissioners will appoint. So we as the commissioners will have 2 citizen reps to appoint, so I assume that we'll do an outreach to garner interest and then make a selection based on those individuals that apply.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. So now we can get back on schedule. First public hearing is Department of Community Resources, Community Development Block Grant. Director Moreland. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Jennifer Moreland, Director of Community Resources. I have here with me Jacqueline Calvert, who's our Special Projects Manager overseeing the End Hunger Warehouse project. As you know, the county acts as the applicant for community development block grants, and she'll be reading the memo.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm here today with a few items for me. So background. A public hearing is required for the purpose of approving a community development block grant, which is a CDBG application. The Department of Community Resources is coordinating an application with End Hunger in Calvert County, Inc., to the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, DHCD, to fund the continued construction of a 21,000 square foot commercial grade food storage and distribution center at 6021 Solomons Island Road in Huntingtown. End Hunger in Calvert County, Inc. is managing the project, and the county is the applicant. Discussion. The total cost of the project is approximately $7.3 million. We are applying for an additional $565,000 in CDBG grant to support the continuation of the project. Their first CDBG grant in 2019 supported a portion of the structure and foundation costs, and these funds have been expended. The Department of Community Resources will continue to work with the Department of Finance and Budget to administer these grants funds and monitor the grant for compliance. Notice of the public hearing, as required by DHCD, appeared in the September 24th, 2021 edition of the Southern Maryland News. Fiscal impact. None. No match is required. The county provides in-kind administrative support for this project and recently provided American Rescue Plan funding for this project. Conclusions and recommendations. In addition to hosting a public hearing, we request that you sign the resolution and authorize the board president to sign a statement of assurances and certifications and a letter of support. This has been coordinated through the Office of the County Attorney and the Department of Finance and Budget.
Mr. President, the signature or the sign-up sheet has been out for the required time and nobody has signed up to speak.
Need a motion?
So, yes, at this time, the chair would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to give the president the permission to sign the grant request.
Second.
Clarification. Did you close the record?
And close the record.
And I only have one other question. There's no callers, right? Or did we
That's correct. There have been no callers on the line this morning.
just, yes, thank you.
So I have a motion and a second to close the record, approve and adopt the resolution authorizing the submittal of an application for the continuation of the End Hunger in Calvert County Warehouse and authorize the board president to sign a statement of assurances, certifications, and a letter of support. Any discussion on that motion? So just for clarification, we had a little discussion this morning. You can apply for up to $800,000, but we are only actually applying for $565,000 because that's all that they need that meets the guidelines of the grant.
Correct, Commissioners. This has been a fast-moving process, so we know the maximum we can apply for is up to $800,000. And after reviewing finances, budget, and what would be appropriate costs for this grant, the $565,000 number was determined.
Just for everybody's clarity.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, community development block grants they are restrictive, and you do have to go through a procurement bidding process that's very defined. So as you can see, they're moving fast on the project. They just put the walls up this past week. So it's good to see that progress, but on the other hand, it does limit some of what you can do with government funds.
And what's the projected completion date of the project?
So the projected completion date has been kind of in flux just due to COVID and supply chain issues. I think we're looking at this winter, early spring of next year as of this moment. But we will continue to give you updates as requested, and as required by the grant, another public hearing will be required to provide updates. And the semi-annual reports for these grants do come through the Commissioner's offices for review. If that is something of interest, we can certainly make sure those make it to your desks as well.
Thank you.
Great.
Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a great morning.
Too. So lost my place. So the second public hearing, Department of Human Resources, Director Woodson.
Good morning.
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 Morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Melanie Woodson, Director of Human Resources. Dina Davis, Human Resources Deputy Director. Today we're here for a public hearing regarding the Juneteenth Holiday Code Amendment. Background. The purpose of today's public hearing is to amend the code of Calvert County to add Juneteenth to the list of observed county holidays. Discussion. Congress has passed S-475 bipartisan legislation recognizing June 19th as Juneteenth National Independence Day, the date marking the end of slavery in the United States as a federal holiday. Juneteenth is celebrated on June 19th. It is the desire of the board to add Juneteenth to the list of observed holidays. Fiscal impact. Eligible employees required to work on a holiday shall receive holiday compensation. The fiscal impact to provide holiday compensation to eligible employees for one holiday is approximately $54,000. Conclusion, recommendation. After receiving any public comment, the record should be closed. Staff will bring the ordinance back to the board for action after the required 10-day waiting period. This memo has been coordinated with the County Attorney's Office and the Department of Finance and Budget. Do we have any public comment?
No, ma'am, nobody has signed up, and unless TS advises otherwise, nobody's still on the call.
There are no callers.
Any discussion? Motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we leave the record open through close of business on Friday, October 8th, 2021.
Second.
A motion and a second that we leave the record open until October the 8th, 2021. Any discussion on that motion?
I apologize for the long pause.
That's okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Steve, it don't matter how long it takes, it's just getting it right.
That's right.
You know?
Yes, sir.
The next public hearing is the Employees Retirement Plan Amendment. Director Woodson.
Melanie Woodson, Human Resources Director. And Megan Flegel, Human Resources Deputy Director. This morning, we're here for a public hearing for the Employees Retirement Plan Amendment, Voluntary Retirement Incentive Plan. On Tuesday, October 24th, 2021, the Board of County Commissioners authorized staff to advertise a public hearing proposing to amend the Employees Retirement Plan to offer a retirement incentive to eligible employees to retire or enter the DROP program. There are currently 25 employees who are eligible for normal retirement in the Employees Retirement Plan. Fiscal impact. Should all eligible employees decide to retire as of December 19th, 2021, the incentive payment would equal $779,000. The source of funds for this incentive would come out of the plan assets, which has been approved by the Employees Retirement Plan Board of Trustees. Bolton Partners has indicated that the annual actuarially determined contribution would be reduced by $188,300 if these employees retired or entered into the drop as of December 19, 2021. Conclusion, recommendation. After receiving public comment, the record should be closed. Staff will bring the ordinance back to the BOCC for action after the 10-day waiting period. This memo has been coordinated with the Office of the County Attorney. Do we have any public comment?
No, ma'am, still no one online, and nobody signed up to speak.
Discussion? Motion?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to close the record.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to close the record. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've done the award. We're down to appointments. Deputy Administrator Vasallo.
Good morning, Commissioners. You have 2 rounds of appointments this morning, the first one being for the Compensation Review Board. We're requesting a motion that you adopt and pass 2 citizens, and I believe I've turned this over so you can provide the names for those appointments.
Do I need to say the name?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes, please.
I would like to nominate Randy Smith.
So can
Second.
Can we,
We can do
Council,
each
can we do
collect-
individually or together, or
It's at your pleasure.
doesn't matter? Okay.
So
Well, we
that's-
have motion and a second for Randy Smith. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we have another position.
Yeah, you'll need a nomination for the second position, please.
You got it, Chris? No?
Wilson Perrin?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept Wilson Perrin as our second rep on the Compensation Review Board.
Second?
A motion and a second that we appoint Wilson Perrin to the Compensation Review Board. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we're still waiting for the County Chamber of Commerce to submit a name, correct? So that, who is that name?
Mark Frisco.
Okay.
So that completes the review board.
Good deal.
Good.
All right.
All right, excuse me, your second round is for 2021 committee nominations. First one is the Mako Legislative Committee. And staff was requesting a motion to indicate by consensus a designated representation on the board for Mako and an alternative.
So, I guess for discussion purposes, these are all Commissioner Hutchins'
Correct.
positions.
Right. So, yes. Yes, sir.
And I guess, may I be so bold as to ask if there's a interest in the alternate position? And if so,
I would just have Chris take over what Hutchins had.
With the blessing of the committee, the commissioners, I'd be happy to take over Commissioner Hutchins' responsibilities.
Do we have a full list of what he was doing? Chris knows what he's getting into.
I just saw 4. Let me rephrase that. I see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Isn't it a car washing involved?
There's 3 more pages in the office.
At least once a month, yeah.
So this one, the first one is to replace Commissioner Hutchins on Mako with an alternate, and the second is the various committees that you serve on, and we're asking that Commissioner Gadway replace Commissioner Hutchins on all of those committees through December 1st, and then we'll bring those committees back to the board for appointments.
Yep.
And thank you, Commissioner President, for pointing that out. So for clarity for record, I believe that is Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse, Calvert County Fair Board, and College of Southern Maryland Calvert County Campus Advisory Board. Nowhere did I see anything in
Duties
reference to
as
car
assigned.
washing.
So one correction, I'm Calvert Alliance on Substance Abuse.
Okay.
That wasn't Tim. Right?
so I'd like to make a motion that we accept Commissioner Gadway as our rep with the exception of Calvert Alliance Against Substance Abuse until December 1st or therein that time frame. The second?
Commissioners, it's typically the third Tuesday in December when the board was first appointed following the election. So I believe it's the third Tuesday in December where we revisit committee appointments.
And I'll amend the motion to be inclusive of the third Thursday of the month. Third Tuesday, I'm sorry.
Did I have a
At
second?
which-
Second?
So I have a motion and a second that we appoint Commissioner Gadway to fill those committee vacancies created by the absence of Commissioner Hutchins until the third Tuesday of December 2021. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Congratulations, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, more work. So that takes us to new business item number 2. Mr. Marney.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning.
The Department of Planning and Zoning has a memo for the annual recertification for the community rating system for the board. As part of our ongoing efforts to participate in the Federal Emergency Management Agency's community rating system, that's the CRS program for short, the Department of Planning and Zoning is completing its annual recertification. FEMA approved the county's participation in the CRS program in January of 2015, with an effective date of May 1st, 2015. Property owners located within the 100-year floodplain receive a 10% discount to their insurance premiums annually under this program. Discussion. As part of the annual recertification process, the Department of Planning and Zoning must certify that it's continuing to participate in the program in the same or higher capacity as presented to FEMA at this time of the CRS program application by completing the attached CC-213 form and accompanying documentation. In addition, as part of the recertification process, the Department of Planning and Zoning is providing the annual progress report on the Calvert County Flood Mitigation Plan. The fiscal impact of participating in the CRS program includes the annual mailings associated with the required outreach to property owners located in the floodplain and professionals in the real estate and banking industries. Information provided in the mailings includes how to identify if a property is in the 100-year floodplain, flood insurance requirements, flood preparedness measures, financial assistance, and other items. Planning and Zoning, as the department currently absorbs these costs and along with the salary for staff and time required to prepare the recertification. Staff recommends to the Board of County Commissioners that they sign the Form CC-213 for the annual recertification of the CRS program.
So moved.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second that the Board of County Commissioners sign Form CC-213 for the CRS annual certification. Any discussion on that motion? It's quiet today. Hearing none. All those in favor? Oh, Commissioner Weems.
Mr. President, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, Ron, could you explain to the public the benefit of this action?
Absolutely. The county's participation in the CRS program is done through a higher level of preparedness and mitigation measures for flood hazards in the county. Aside from the obvious mitigation to risks to life and property, this also gets everyone in the county who has flood insurance a lower rate. And based off of our level of participation, that determines the amount. Currently, it's 10%, with the goal of obviously increasing that discount.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
And Ron, you can say anybody who's ever had to purchase flood insurance is looking for any relief possible because it is not cheap, and a lot of this county is in the flood zone.
Absolutely.
So Ron, do you know, I'm sure somebody out there is tracking sea level rise in Calvert County. Do we have any data so far that shows increased floodplain?
We do have a lot of data. I wouldn't want to venture without having a little more time to prepare it for you, the extent of the expansion. I know we don't map them ourselves. These maps are generated by FEMA. We would have that capacity if it was the board's desire, though.
Just living close to the water, it appears tides are a lot higher than they used to be, and
There's a lot of beaches that are gone.
Yeah.
That used to be. I know one gentleman in particular. He was walking me on his property, and he said this whole area was beach, and he said, even at the lowest tide, it's not back. I mean,
If you look at the marshes on the Tucson River, they're all going away.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wondered if somebody was tracking. I'm sure they are.
Oh, we are, and as part of the, we're about to redo the countywide flood mitigation plan, and that will include updated sea level rise data.
All right. Any other discussion? So I have a motion and a second to approve and authorize the board president to sign the Form CC 213 for the CRS annual recertification. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So we are down to public comment. Is there any public comment?
Mr. President.
no speakers.
All right.
We heard
Well,
that.
answers that.
That was definitive. So that takes us to commissioner reports. Commissioner Hart.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Had the ribbon cutting at the golf course for the new clubhouse, and this amenity, not everybody likes to golf, but this amenity will serve a need for the golfing community. It's very encouraging to see that the high schools have a team that go there, start the next generation. It's a very nice activity. It's outside. And the greatest thing about this amenity is it is very close to being completely self-sufficient. It is very rare in any type of government, whether it's federal, state, or local, that amenity can support itself. So, and you know, I've always been a big champion for the golf course, and there's been some detractors over time saying, hey, I don't golf, I don't want my money going there. Well, actually it won't, because it will be self-sustaining, and that's a very rare thing, and I'm very proud of that, and that only comes from community support and the great people down there making it a very attractive and great place to play. Yesterday was the bond rating hearing. I want to commend staff for a fantastic job. I thought Commissioner Hance put together a very nice presentation. Had a very it's easy to almost read something and it sounds very robotic, but these folks in New York, when they see you, they see this every day. And Commissioner Hance made a great point. You know, it really is the report card. It's one of the most important things we do. We have 6 consecutive AAA bond ratings. That has saved this county millions and millions of dollars. It's enabled us to do things that a small county like us would not be able to do without a good rating like that. And, you know, he said it right. It really is your financial report card. If we're not doing a good job all year long, they know. They know our budget backwards, forwards, and upside down. So I thought everybody did a fantastic job. It was the easiest one I've been through. I want to say it's my 7th or 8th, and it was by far the easiest. So I want to thank staff for that, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner McConkey?
Also attended a ribbon cutting at the golf course, and Commissioner Hart made a good point. You know, it's a lot of people on Facebook making comments that, you know, it's for the adults only, and it's not. It's for the kids also, and they're for the high schools and everything. And then we had a ribbon cutting at Dunkirk playground, new playground that was built. The company did an amazing job. The kids went crazy. It was I've been there every day since the ribbon cutting, and it is packed. And it just goes to show you that it's definitely needed in the community, and you can't have enough of them. You know, it'd be nice to have them throughout the whole county and have the amenities for the kids and the parents. That's it.
Thank you. Commissioner Gadway?
Thank you. I was able to attend the fire rescue budget meetings. That was very enlightening. Want to appreciate the Calvert County Volunteer Fire Commission for that, and public safety, I'm sorry. The groundbreaking and at the golf course, the play park, the ribbon cutting at the play park were both great events, well attended. I look forward to all of that. And it was great seeing so many kids out there playing on all the equipment. I also attended the Lifestyles ribbon cutting in White Plains. That is a tri-county organization that provides first month and security deposit payments to get people back into affordable housing that currently do not have housing. It's a beautiful facility over there to assist people. It is the first of its kind in a industrial park. They were actually able to rewrite the zoning because so many people in the NIMBY, not in my backyard, they don't want stuff like that in their backyard. They were able to realize we don't have to have that in residential areas. We can actually take that and put it into a commercial or an light industrial park. And it really worked out well. and I was just happy to be there and represent Calvert on that.
Thank you. Commissioner Weems?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Commissioner Gadway, you forgot to mention that you purchased a hog on Saturday at the fair, sir.
I did. I am sorry that you were not able to grab one. I noticed your bid card a couple of times. The record reflect, I did not bid against Steve. He did not bid against me, but I was very happy to see, and I did get a call yesterday from the Suttersville Meat Processing Center, and I was able to select exactly which
What you're going to
cuts and
serve
types.
us when the appropriate time comes.
Right. And I believe H&H got one too.
They did.
Right. So we'll all have some pork.
We'll all have some.
We'll all have some pork. And thank you to Rodney Gertz. He, in essence, donated back the hospice hog to the tune of $14,000, I was told yesterday. So, you know, it's just another shining example of how Calvert gives, and to such a worthy organization as hospice. And I think the fair, the weather was great. They had good turnout, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you. So Steve's talking about the fair. I want to congratulate and thank the fair board for what they do, but they did have an outstanding fair, and they had wonderful weather. And he mentioned the 4-H livestock auction that happens every year on Saturday night, where the 4-H kids auction off their animals. And this year the animals sold for record prices. Poor Commissioner Weems couldn't afford to buy a hog.
I couldn't.
So it was a very good auction. And he also mentioned the hospice hog. 2 young men, Colby and TJ Ireland, sons of Todd and Shirley Ireland, for the past 3 years have donated a hog, and all the sale receipts go to Calvert Hospice. And as Commissioner Weems noted, this year the hog brought about $14,000. And mentioned Rodney Gertz of Quality Built Homes was the first purchaser of that hog, and then he donated it back, and then 2 other people bought the hog and donated it back, and then finally the last person bought the hog and donated it back to Colby and TJ. So they're going to get to enjoy the work that they put into that animal all year long, and hospice gets an additional $14,000 in their budget. So it's you know, it's a quite an achievement for those 2 young men. It says a lot about their character to do what they do just to help hospice. And need to thank all the buyers that purchase all the animals that night and what they do to help the 4-H kids and teach them some valuable lessons. So Thursday night here at the courthouse, there's going to be a vigil for domestic violence. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. And on October the 12th, we won't be meeting next week because of the holiday. On October the 12th, we're going to have our police accountability town hall meeting at the Heb at 7 o'clock. And just want to pass along, we were notified that the North Beach Town Council lost one of their members this week. And right now her name is just completely gone. Jane Hagan, thank you, Commissioner McConkey, who was an outstanding community leader, was very active in the town council and in some state organizations, and I want to pass along our condolences to her family and to the town council for their loss. I believe they told me it's the first time they've ever lost a sitting council member. So, but I want to pass along those condolences. And that's all I have. Commissioner Weems, you have a motion for me?
I do have a motion for you, sir. And that said motion would be that we go into exec session pursuant to General Provisions Article Sections number 1, 3-305B1I to discuss the discipline or removal of an appointee, employee, or official over whom it has jurisdiction. 2, 3-305B12 to discuss a personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. 3, 3-305B7 to obtain legal advice. 4, 3-305B10 to discuss public security where public discussion would constitute a risk to the public. And finally, number 5, 3-305B15 to discuss cybersecurity when a public discussion would constitute a risk.
I have a motion and a second that we move into executive session. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Everyone, have a great day.